saying nothing is ever set in stone, which is the good news, right? So you know how we want an answer. If I do this thing, is it going to lead to financial viability, or is it going to make a profit, or is it going to have like an outcome? So they're saying nothing is set in stone because you are creating all the time. So they're saying the highest level that you can tap into now is to release the worry about anything being financially viable, because you haven't created it yet. You haven't walked the path. They're saying we understand the human concern. What is more powerful than that, to kind of get you onto the higher frequency where you do receive what you need, is to tap into whether you really want to expand in this opportunity. If you feel contracted, not from fear, but in a genuine, oh, I don't think it's for me anymore, I really don't, something's telling me, listen to that. If you don't have that and you really feel like this is an opportunity that you are moved towards, they're saying allow yourself to unfold, allow yourself to move on the path. And so your only job is to respond to what is here. Do you like it? Yes. Keep going, keep creating, keep trusting, because when you're on a higher frequency, the financial aspect or any external aspect will start to shift and create in accordance with your own frequency anyway. So do you see? So you don't have to focus on will it be financially viable, because it's they're saying to get into the power is to get into your mission, your soul purpose work. So can you imagine if let's say an idea was, oh, this is not financially viable, so you need to abandon this project. That's, you could say that, right? It's a very linear thing, but what we're being called to do is what is of service. What are we doing right now that we're doing from our soul? And then knowing that as we walk that path, we're going to be guided into the how, the moves. You partnered with someone who knows their aspects, so you're not focusing on is it financially viable. A really simple way to understand that is, for example, let's say I live stream, and I'm going to start getting back into my live streams on my pages. I decided, let's say I look at live streaming as I'm going to live stream 5 days in a row to sell my product, service, right? I'm doing a promotion, say, and let's say, like, is it worth my time? Is it viably a good option if I do 5 Facebook lives and then sell my product? What if the product doesn't sell by the end of it, right? And I know the stakes aren't high, but I'm just giving you an example. I could go at it from that, but if I do that, it's very linear and narrowed, and all I'm doing is I'm getting very sucked into the outcome and the, let's say, this product or this service being sold via my live stream. How do I know that this service of mine isn't going to be sold because I bump into someone or someone gets an email? It may or may not come through this avenue, but I'm being guided to live stream, right? So if I just get that out of the way and I say, I'm live streaming because it's who I am. It's coming from a place of service, and it's coming from my own soul and what I feel is the correct thing for me to do this week, for example. And then I'm just not paying attention to the outcome. I'm doing it because I can't not. I'm doing it because it's who I am, right? And when you're doing that, what you're doing is you're putting yourself on this higher frequency. And when you're on a higher frequency, remember, you are on a higher frequency. So then things start coming in. Maybe the financial stuff comes through that. Maybe it comes through something else to support you while you're doing that. It's like you don't have to make it work. Does that make sense? You don't have to force it, because what we're doing, we're coming out of these old paradigms. We get so entangled with, we've got to work harder, make sure this is viable. It's logical and it makes sense, especially when you're in fear. You want to know, right? But it's a really good example. That's why we're kind of giving you quite a lengthy answer here, because it's useful for everyone. It's a really good example to come out of that and really start to apply this different focus, right? Let me know how that feels. You love it. Okay, good. Yeah. Fear, part of it. Yeah. Partner sphere. Yeah. Service. Like, yeah, it's old paradigms, and I'm really disentangling myself from them. So this is what I've been doing. This live stream example was a good one. It didn't come up in this way, but what came up for me, just to share, was I looked in my calendar. I was like, why have I feel a bit weird. Other than in here, which I love, I haven't actually live streamed out there for 11 weeks. And I don't remember the last time I've gone that long. I've been doing reels and written content, but I haven't actually live streamed, and I really now want to go back. And when I was thinking about, yeah, I'm going to just pop up on my page maybe later today or tomorrow, and I'm going to chit chat, and it doesn't have to be a 30-minute long live stream. It could be like 5 minutes to say hey to people and share something. And I realized a massive change in myself in those 11 weeks of not live streaming. And I realized that in the work that I've been doing, I've come out of that old way, where the old way would have been, not that I didn't show up with service and love, because I did, but there was still an element of, I need to live stream if I'm going to be visible or sell anything or make a business, right? So it was very, I need to do this to get this, even though the live streams were always like from my heart and soul. But I realized today, I was like, I've just realized that I've been promoting my stuff. I've sold some stuff in the last 11 weeks. I think it was like I've done masterclasses and sessions and the Channeling Academy that had opened. So I'd received money and I'd sold things without any live streaming. Isn't that interesting? And it broke this habit of mine to go, I don't have to do anything for any purpose. I'm that's old paradigm, right? Because that's what I was taught in the beginning. You've got to show up live so that. It was like, no, I'm now not going to show up live this week when I choose to do it because my business depends on it, or because I need to sell a thing, or because I have to be visible. It's just, I'm showing up because it's who I am, and I've got things to share. And the outcome, somebody could see my one live stream and hire me for my highest level package. Someone could see my live stream and just tune into all my free stuff. Someone could see my live stream and buy another thing of mine, or never buy anything of mine. Like, it doesn't matter, right? It's like, I'm just being me. So over to you, all of you. Like, what does it mean if you're just being you? So what do you do then? How do you show up? Right? It's a really big, it's almost subtle, but it's such a powerful jump, because then you're not relying on anything. Because even in my business, it's a freedom-based business, right? Well, it didn't feel like that for a long time, because I was having to do all these things, right? Have to do this to do this. It's like, well, then that's not good enough reason anymore. So it's like, it's really a sign now of us getting, it takes courage, right? Let's go back to, where is it? Somewhere. Going back into this idea of courage, right? As we started, like, that takes courage to go, I'm just going to make moves from being who I am and not to get a specific outcome. It's a big one, very, very powerful. So that's, I know it's a long partly channeled answer, but the really important points there.